Hello, everybody. I see a lot of people moving. I understand it. I'm the only thing between you and drinks. I get it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're missing out, though. You're missing out. I'd like to talk to you about the things AI cannot replace. My name is Winny de Jong. I'm really happy to meet you. I'm the head of data journalism at a Dutch newspaper, one of the three big ones in the country. It's called NRC. There I lead a team of data journalists, 7. We make data-driven stories on every topic under the sun. Elections are coming up, so currently we are looking at the effects of alt-right rhetoric. I'm telling you this just so you know that I have somewhat of a technical function. I used to be a data journalist myself. Now I'm more a manager. But spreadsheets, data, those are my natural habitat. That's when I thrive. That's what I like. However, I think that everything that truly matters does not fit in a data set. I know that's ironic, a data journalist telling you that, but I think that's true. Next to my day job, I'm also part of the preparatory committee of the European Press Prize, the award for excellent journalism in Europe. The prize tries to honor and recognize the best of journalism there is on the continent. And being part of the preparatory committee sounds kind of fancy, and it even has some prestige to it. I'm here to tell you, whenever something is prestigious, it's most likely because it's also a lot of work. When you're in the PrepCom, you actually read every piece of journalism submitted to the prize. So it's like in between Christmas and New Year's, you read, I don't know, dozens and dozens of pieces with a cap of 5,000 words. But if you have to do that like 30 times, that's a lot of reading. And then the PrepCom has to decide who makes the long list. We have to decide what do we think makes journalism excellent. And then in another round, you read again, group by category, to figure out what publication should make the shortlist. And this side gig has me thinking on what makes journalism excellent all the time. And it's the most inspiring thing to do. It's a lot of work, but all this reading next to my family, watching Christmas movies, it's a lot of fun. And it has me thinking about to decide who should make the short list, the long list, the short list. You have to look at the story itself, at how it's published, at how it's presented, but also you have to look into methodology. And looking at methodology, you see the rise of AI. More and more, especially for the Innovation Award, submissions will use AI and they will tell you in the submission form how they used it. And to me, as a data journalist and the journalists I work with, I think using AI and going for the most technical, complex thing, it's like gym bros in the gym flexing their muscles. You know, just being like, look at me, I can do this hard thing. I bet you can't. Look what I made. But technical complexity shouldn't be what we're aiming for. That doesn't necessarily make journalism better, let alone excellent in the first place. So I wanted to look at some of the winners and runner-ups of this year's European Press Prize together with you to discuss why I think these publications made it so far in the European competition of the best journalism. Yeah, let's go. I brought you 4. The first one is made by Line Faben for Politiken in Denmark. It was the runner-up in the Distinguished Reporting Award, and it's about René Damgaard, who is saying a final goodbye to life and to his niece. It's a wonderful piece where Line Faben spent 10 days in a palliative care unit in Denmark, following people, nurses, visitors, everybody. In the piece, it's not even about René Damgaard himself. In the piece, at some point, she writes, "One afternoon, a middle-aged man enters the corridor. In his hands, he holds 2 large boxes with cream puffs, which he places in the nurse's office. His wife died in the unit a month ago. And now he wants to say thank you." And she quotes him saying, "I promised my wife that I would come back and properly say goodbye to the staff. But it was difficult to walk through the door to the unit. It was difficult because it's the place where he last saw his wife, it's the place where she died. And I don't think any technical advancement could bring you this story, this feeling, because at some point our cameras will notice he walked in through the corridor and he was probably not moving so fast, so they can describe that. But together, why it's so difficult for him to do that, to be there, to honor his wife with this one last time being there, I don't think AI is going to do that for you. And I think we have to be very aware of that. Second, also a publication in Denmark, it's called New Lines Magazine, and it's about growing up non-Western in Denmark's nanny state. I don't know how this happened in Denmark. I don't know. Anyway, I was very surprised learning this. Denmark has marked certain neighborhoods as ghettos because the immigrant population is a bit higher there. And when you live in a ghetto, you cannot you cannot keep your kid away from daycare. If you have a baby, it should go to daycare so it learns Danish properly. It reeks of discrimination, dare I say it. In the piece, Kaya Sariwating and the other makers quote Abdul Hamid, who says he can't choose between his 2 identities. "I dream in Danish, I think in Danish, I talk Danish, but at the same time, it's a part of my identity being Palestinian." And it's this duality and contradiction I think we as humans can perfectly understand on many occasions. And even if you don't have a bicultural background, you can feel for him. To dream in a language, that's, then you live the language, then you live in that language, I think. It made sense to me. I don't have a bicultural background, but I could feel this and appreciate it. But I think the makers, they needed to be around for him to share this. Second, the production that showed a lot of doubt. It was all about mothers at the end of the world, written by a Polish journalist, Katarzyna Boni. And the press prize jury called it a striking piece that asks big existential questions. She doubts about she's becoming a mother, the author, and during her pregnancy, she travels to the end of the world. And she wonders, can the world change through mothering? Should I, knowing the state of the world, put another human into this mess? The big questions, She writes how she feels overwhelmed. And she asks about her unborn son. She wonders, can I teach him the value of empathy when in the future ruthlessness might be more needed? And I think daring to ask this question and then daring to write it down, that takes guts. And you have to know or feel that some people will share these doubts, share these feelings, might not be able to publish a wonderful written piece about it, and go for it. And I think that's terribly a human thing to do. Finally, I'd like to share with you the German security story, Under Surveillance. It was made by many journalists, published in many places, among which the Bayerische Rundfunk, ARD, and Tagesschau. I like this story because it's data, right? This is home for me. So this is what they did. They went to an online data broker. They got a sample. You get a sample for free. Data brokers work similarly to wine tastings and wine cellars. You get a little piece to see what they have for sale, for offer. And in this case, it was location data based on mobile phones. And they found people in the data set accessing like the bureau of the German military personnel and places you should not be aware of who's going there and when they are there. So in their data set, they notice somebody going to work based on the speed of the moving dot, probably by car, ending in a secure area, namely an intelligence agency. And I think the exact route is shown by their location data. And what I liked about this piece, it's very factual. You can look it up online. They have maps and they show you all the dots and how they did it. But it instilled some fear in me. And I also got a little mad because you are working at an intelligence agency and you don't know how to turn off your phone and you're supposed to keep the country safe? What's up? And I think this story shows that using technical advanced to get your journalism together, to find the story, to tell the story, it brought it even further by keeping the writing so factual, but also instilling this feeling of fear or madness or anger or whatever it is. And I'm not even German. But thinking of geopolitics, I think they should do better. And I also think it made the piece even more powerful than just the mere facts. So what makes journalism excellent? I think humans and humanity, front and center, that makes the best journalism. And if you look at the prize and the selections by the preparatory committee and then the jury, I think this is the one thing that connects it all. Which reminded me of Clay Shirky, a journalist himself, who once said we systematically overestimate the value of access to information and underestimate the value of access to each other. And I think it's really important, especially in a time where you can ask AI a question and it's fine and you'll get an answer and it's quick. But what if you ask the same question to your friend who might not know the answer, but at least you'll have a conversation? Or my birthday was at the end of summer, and I had a discussion with friends and family. And every single damn time, people would pick up their phone and be like, oh, you don't know? I don't know either. Oh, I'll look it up. Let me go check. I'll ask ChatGPT, I'll Google it for you. No, maybe just wonder, maybe not know the answer, yet talk about it, fantasize. I think that sparks creativity, it sparks connection, it sparks trust. Because dare you to share your thoughts without checking them first? Do you dare to be completely wrong in front of your friends, your family, the person you're interviewing? I think you need to be to build a relationship, to have them trust you, have you trust them, because that leads to the better quotes in any story, right? That's when people trust you, they will tell you what lives in their hearts, and those are the quotes that make a story. So let's start value the access to each other more. In thinking of this, because as I said, I'm a data journalist. I like data. When in doubt, I go for my comfort zone, which is data, which is me flexing in a mirror like I'm a gym bro, but with tech. It's not good, let me tell you. So I need a reminder to value the access to each other more, the access to other humans more. So I'm trying to build a collection of reminders, a collection to which all of you can add by scanning this QR code. Ironically, it will lead you to a custom GTP bot because, you know, I thought it would be funny. But you can go there and it will ask you, what do you think AI cannot replace? And what piece of journalism shows you exactly that thing? I say thing, but it's most likely a thought, an idea, an emotion. Fill it in. You then, if you like, feel free. And I'll get a list of reminders, because I'm planning on reading every single piece you add to this list. So fill it in, so I have a growing cannot collection, learning about the things AI cannot replace in journalism. Thank you so much for your time and attention.